When Microsoft announced that they were going to do backward compatibility and bring Xbox 360 games over to the Xbox One, I wasn't really excited for that announcement. And as you can see behind me with my wall of video games, it doesn't do a lot for me personally. Now, the fact that if you didn't have an Xbox 360 and you jumped onto the Xbox One, that might be exciting to you to go back and relive some of those classics, but mostly people don't tend to go back and play older games per se because they're always playing the new stuff. Now, if you're like me and you're a PC gamer, your entire library stays with you pretty much your entire life. And I find I don't go back and play a lot of those old games. A lot of my friends are playing the flavor of the month games, and you want to play with your friends, so you end up buying the latest, greatest new thing. You play that until something new comes out and you move on. That's just kind of how it goes. Now, there are a few exceptions. For me, as you guys know, I am obsessed with Halo 5. So I'm going to keep playing that one for a very, very long time. Although I'm sure when Halo 6 comes out, I'll jump ship for that. I don't see myself going back and playing Halo 2 competitive or anything. Now, maybe if they fix the Master Chief Collection, but that's for another day. But my initial position of backward compatibility remains the same. Taking an old game and bringing it to newer consoles really doesn't do a lot for anyone. However, today, Microsoft announced that they were going to be bringing back the original Xbox games to the Xbox One, and they listed a list of them. These games I haven't gotten to play yet, and again, I guess if you fall in a similarity where you didn't jump onto the console until the 360 or the Xbox One, you know, the original Xbox or the 360 games may be exciting and new, you may want to go check them out. I don't really care so much about that still. The one thing that I did like, which was kind of a tangential announcement, was that the games would be available in 60 frames a second. They would run at 1080p when possible, and that they've done a lot of texture cleaning up on a lot of these games. Now, that makes sense because the original Xbox wasn't capable of pushing the textures that the new one is capable of doing, but they've also done that with other games. One of the ones like Halo 3 I saw today. That Halo 3 is going to be getting a complete up-res, and it's going to look even prettier than it did when it launched for the 360. Now, that part is exciting to me, and for that, I have to give a major kudos to Microsoft for taking an old game and actually doing something with it. Not just a straight port, but up-resing it, making it a more vivid, rich experience. To me, that does excite me to go back now and say, you know, some of these games I didn't care about before, maybe I'll go check out now. Or some of the older games, you know, it would be fun to fire up Halo 3 and grind through that one more time, even though I've done it a bazillion times, because maybe it's going to look a little prettier, it's going to run a little bit smoother, and for that, I'm excited. But the straight port idea still doesn't do much for me, and based on what I hear people talking about, backward compatibility still isn't this be all end all. Yes, you get a small pop when they announce games like Crimson Skies or Ninja Gaiden Black for the original Xbox making their way over to the Xbox One and the Xbox One X and S and all that great stuff. But for the most part, I don't think people are going nuts digging into their library because there's just too many good games out. I don't hear anybody saying, man, I know Shadow of War just came out, but boy, I can't wait to go back and play that really crappy Lord of the Rings port from 2005. That just doesn't happen. So I still maintain my position. But Microsoft taking old games, revitalizing them, making them fun, making them better, that is something I'm very happy for. And for that, I have to congratulate you guys, Microsoft. For once, I think you guys did a really good thing with this backward compatibility system. I'd like to see more enhancements in the future. I'd like to see more up-reses in the future because, let's face it, there are a lot of old games that, with a fresh coat of paint, with some new graphics, with some more updates, could be good once again. But in today's market, with so many good AAA titles coming out right now, we don't have time to play the old crappy stuff in the past. If the developers aren't going to take the time to make it look pretty by today's standards, that's where it's going to remain in the past. That's what I think about backward compatibility. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Get out there and download those old-ass blurry games if that's your thing. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.